Hey folks, this is Shock, and I'm going to give you a little update on the motorcycle. Some of you have been asking for me to do another review on this is a 2003 Suzuki SV1000. I did a review when I first got it, and now I'm going to do a review years later. And give you a quick walk around. It's basically all stock. When I bought it, it had this windshield on it, this color. I like it that way because I haven't seen any with this same color. It has stock pipes. Everything's basically stock. As you can see, I bought it from someone in the military. Go over here. It's got 6 gears. It's got frame sliders. It's not a fully fared bike. In other words, it doesn't have all the plastic on the side, but I like that because here's the radiator, the cooler, oil cooler. It keeps the bike a lot cooler out here in California. So here we go. We're going to get on the freeway, and let me put my camera in the helmet. Hold on. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm putting the camera in the helmet so I can ride hands-free on the freeway with you guys. This will be fun. See that? And you guys, you really should get a motorcycle if you haven't. With some conditions. I wouldn't get a motorcycle unless you listen to what I'm going to tell you here. But if you end up getting a motorcycle, what's awesome about it is 2 wheels will move your body. But it doesn't just move your body, it also moves your soul, and it's awesome. 4 wheels just moves your body, but 2 wheels also moves your soul. So here we go. Going to get on the freeway, and I'll give you a little review of this bike. I've had one problem with it. It was pretty scary, to be honest with you. I have one problem. Let me unfog this. I was on the freeway, and this year bike, 2003 SV1000, it's 1000, has a it had a problem with the wiring. Let's get on it a bit. And I was on the freeway, and all of a sudden I lost all power, which was terrifying. I mean, just like all power, like the engine died, electrical power, dark screen, and then it's like miraculously started up again, right? And then so enough time for me to get off the freeway, and then I took it into the dealer, and they go, yeah, this bike has that problem. So they had to put a different wire. It says it burns through the wire. There's a lot of voltage, I guess, going through the wire. So if you do get the 2003 Suzuki SV1000, you might want to take it in. I think it's a free recall replacement. Okay, here we go. What I love about the bike, I haven't got tired of it yet. That was the only problem. And it's got great pickup. I mean, it just effortlessly gets on, especially these mean, unforgiving, evil freeways that I ride of the Inland Empire. As you can see, just effortlessly. Now, if you've never ridden a V-twin bike, it feels different when it's underneath you than like a inline 4 or something. I remember when I first got it, I bought it through someone in the military, and I go to meet the person, and I get on it, and I'm used to riding, like I had a 600 GSXR and a ZX10, old school ZX10. But those were not V-twin bikes. So when I get on this one, you could really feel it rumbling beneath you, you know, the V-twin motor. It's not bad. It's actually awesome. You get used to it, you know, you feel the power under you. But it's different. So when you first get on one, you're like, what the heck's wrong with it? But then after a while you realize, oh, I see, that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. And a lot of guys like the V-twins because of that particular reason. Well, let's go through the review here real quick. And I got to tell you something before I go through the review. Stop by my website. I'm doing a motorcycle review, but I got to tell you about this. You know, I'm a Christian, and I like listening to debates between the top atheist and the top Christian theist around the world. And I have to tell you guys, if you allow me, I was listening to this one debate, and the atheist guy in the debate starts cussing using the F-bomb at the university where they're debating. I couldn't believe it. If you want to hear it, go click more info below this video. See where it says www.shotgunnow.net. When you get there, click podcast music, and it'll say atheist cusses. Well, you gotta listen to it. And I'm listening to the debate, and I'm like, did that guy just drop the F-bomb? And he does it a couple of times through the debate. Anyways, go to my website, www.shock.now.net. Lots of free stuff there. Click free stuff, you get a bunch of free stuff. But anyways, let's get on with this debate. With this review. You can tell where my mind's at. I love doing debates. Oh yeah, I have a chat room right below too. I won a debate over a atheist last night in the chat room there. I challenged the #1 most subscribed to atheist on YouTube, the Amazing Atheist. I call him the Amazingly Hellbound Atheist, to a debate, but he chickened out. I gave him 3 weeks to respond. Well, let's talk about this bike. First of all, if you're a very short rider, I don't know if you're going to like this bike because it's kind of tall. However, they have these lowering kits, very inexpensive, very cheap, easy to do, and it will lower the bike a bit, so you can still get it. I would give this bike the highest rating. Now, what's interesting about it, they're actually very inexpensive. You can get them in very good condition, low miles, around $3 grand, in between $3 and $4 grand, or even less sometimes. This is not a 650 or 600, it's 1,000. So it's a blast to ride. Now, the reason why I think they're so inexpensive, it's certainly not the quality, because it is very good quality, with the exception of the wire going out about right here when I was riding and losing power. But with the exception of that, they're excellent quality. I haven't had any problem with the motor or it getting hot, and I ride in extreme heat. This is a great bike if you ride in extreme heat because it's liquid cooled and air cooled. But I think one of the reasons why it's so reasonably priced is around that time they came out with R1s and R6s, and a lot of people moved to those bikes. But I get a lot of compliments on how the bike looks, making sure that guy doesn't crush me. And but let's get right to the review. You got a digital dash, you have a temperature gauge, you do not have a fuel gauge. Most motorcycles, not all, but most motorcycles do not have a fuel gauge. What happens, you notice how it says I've gone 6.9 miles since I've gassed up. Every time you gas up, you just reset your trip odometer. And on this bike, when you get to around 140, 150 miles, it does have a low gas light that goes on, so that's cool. And then look at that old car, classic. And that's when you know it's time to gas up. So let's get on it a bit, and I got to get over in the other lane. Right when I get over, the guy signals. My luck. Now, I think this bike is a perfect bike, whether you're just street riding or whether you're doing, I mostly do the higher speed freeways. The freeways I ride, guys, out here in California, right here is not a good example because this is a rare part where they're only going like, you know, 70 or 65. Most of the time they're going 80, 85 because I ride desert areas, long stretches. Now, one of the things, all right, I got some time. I've got about 5 more minutes. One of the things that bikers hate, I hate it personally more than anything. It's not the rain. I can take the rain. It's not the heat. I can take the heat. I got a mesh jacket on, so I'm nice and cool. The air's flowing through the waffle design. See it? It's the winds. that I hate. I'm terrified of the strong winds. Now, some bikes, just the way they're designed and the shape of them, they capture the winds like a sail on a sailboat. I remember I had a Ninja 250, and every time the wind would blow, I almost got in an accident because it blows you all over. This bike here, I believe, because it's not a full fairing bike, it seems like the wind doesn't really